Well, oh, now come on. This is getting ridiculous. Giving me a rough time here. I, um, I was gonna do the old. Whoops, somebody's got the. See if I can. What the hell is running? There it is. Okay. Hear myself. Not a good deal. Alright, I was going to do the old Kanbanka Delta region, but it will not load for whatever reason. Um, it's going to do a little. It is an add-on, and obviously it's not been updated for the sim yet because it just freezes on load. I do not know why Microsoft, with their marketplace stuff, didn't send what these creators needed to fix their stuff before they released it. So now you got add-ons you bought that don't seem to work when you go to use them. Like I say, it just froze the screen. Change view. Nothing I can do about it. So we're just come off the Mackinac Strip, which is really fun to take off from because you drop off a cliff. So we're just out here playing here. Down here in South Africa. Nothing fancy today. Using a little pit special. Just to be different. I didn't realize this plane had a canopy, but obviously it does. Whoa, pay attention. Pay attention there, buddy. It's like the elevation's a little screwed up down here. Doesn't look like it know which way it's running, and in some places it's actually running uphill, which it's pretty good climb here for this water. I don't know, but we definitely heading, yeah, see, it just ain't quite right here. It's a little messed up, can we say? Nothing's perfect in this world. This little plane is just so nimble. I'd get the wing walkers out, but they're on strike. Now I do have Beijing's. Could that be snow on them peaks? I don't know, but I do have Beijing's North Summer, South Winter pack installed. So I guess technically that could be snow. I don't know. May just be the color of the mountains. Who knows? I don't think it puts snow in the game, so maybe just the color of the rock. Like all it does is trees. So my guess, just like colored rock. broom, broom. And the good news is we're not dead yet. In and out of the shadows. Just gotta love this flight sim. So much of it just is so realistic. I'm probably going to have to break down and buy me a Reverb G2 for all that fancy latest VR ability. I don't have much screen door effect, but I really don't know that I could push any more resolution than I'm pushing right now with my graphics card. So I really don't know if it's worth me buying when I really can't utilize what it can do. I mean, they have great frame rates in VR at my settings I'm using. And it would be nice to be able to turn everything up even higher. I could live with that. And I have the render turned all the way up to what my headset max is, so 1440p. That's all this Rift S will do. And I do have the render turned up to that. Oh, this is pretty tight here in this little corner. Let's see if I cannot kill myself and overstress the airplane. Yeah, not too bad. Only cheats I have on are like taxi ribbons. I don't know the airports. I don't want to learn the airports that well, that I know where all the runways and taxiways are, so I use the ribbons. It just makes it easier for me. But I do have collisions and all that other shit is on. Stress is on. Engine failures are on. And occasionally I get carried away and crash a plane because I overstressed it. Sometimes you forget what you're flying and it just can't do that. I mean, besides what Microsoft gives you, I have the Premium Deluxe Pack, the highest dollar one. So I got a lot of airplanes and I have bought a lot on the marketplace that interest me. I'm not a commercial jet flyer. I don't fly the big Boeings and the Airbuses. It's not the type of flying I enjoy. But I do like flying. I like the military jets. I have both the Typhoon and I have the F-15. I have both of those. I have the Tomahawk prop World War II plane. I enjoy those. Like I say, big commercial jets, it's not where I find my enjoyment. I like civil aviation craft mostly. Just preferences. Everybody's different. But you have to admit this is running smooth as butter. Melted butter. It's even smoother. And I would imagine just leaving it on this settings with the Reverb G2 with its better LED lenses, I would imagine it would even look better still without trying to push anything more out of my graphics card. I understand the screen door effect that it does not have is pretty amazing. Like I say, it's not bad in this Rift S. I mean, it's noticeable, but... And I can, when I stare in a certain area, I can see the pixels. And I guess the resolution's so much higher on the G2 that probably wouldn't be true. And I do believe it's the pixels that give you the screen door effect. I don't know that that's true, but it'd be my guess that you can see the pixels. And I guess the G2 is better than 4K, 5K maybe. Though I couldn't run it at that resolution. I just don't think I could push the renderer that high. Say I've got it running 1454, I think it is what it's settled in at. And I can run it at 100. I said 90%. I can run it at 100%, which is 15 something, but I see no improvement by doing so. Once again, better resolution than my headset will produce. So even though I turn the renderer up, I really don't notice any type of improvement for the frame rate hit. So I turn it down to get better frame rates. Now if I turn it down to 1200 or 1080p, now I notice that. But from 1440 to 15 whatever is at 100%, I don't know. It's not a big enough change to make any difference that I can see visually easily. See a little flicker out there in the background. That's Microsoft's Xbox dumbing it down. And they say they're going to fix that for PC users. They're going to fix the pop-ins that we get that we never got before. Which will be nice. And this little Pips is just so nimble. So it's just fun to fly in canyons and stuff. Now, I've had the F-15, the Eurofighter, in the Grand Canyon. And I'm telling you what, it's all I could do to keep it between the canyon walls. It's going so fast. Yeah. Alright, it takes a real ace pilot to be able to do that. You can see the elevation maps on the water just ain't quite right. You see it going uphill every now and then up on the banks. It's not a big thing, and you don't notice it when you're at 5,000 feet, 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet, but you do notice it when you're flying a couple hundred feet. Because we are at what? Jesus, we're not even... we're probably 100 feet off the ground average. I mean, our altitude is higher because we're up in low mountains, low hills, high hills, whatever you want to call here in Africa. So yeah, we're almost 3,000 feet, not quite. It's from sea level, but not from the ground. And I really enjoy just going different places and checking things out. Little hitch in our giddy up there. I haven't checked out the whole world yet in the year this has been released, but I've checked out a bunch of it. Way over 200 hours flight time. And VR is fun. You actually get the motion of flying, or you feel like you're flying, you know. It's funny how you can screw with your brain. And it would be nice if I bought a 6800 Radeon, and the damn thing had to send it back. It ran about 3-4 minutes, and then something would overheat and shut it down, reboot. They tried a bunch of different things to get it working. I finally just refunded my money, sent it back. Well, boy, when it ran, let me tell you, it made this 5700 XT look like a turtle. Give you an idea, this card in Tomb Raider I've got an ultra wide monitor, 1440p ultra wide, with all the settings on high. It runs benchmarks Tomb Raider about, figure 72 frames per second average. It varies, sometimes it'll run 76, but figure 72 frames per second. I benchmarked the 6800 and some bitch was running 125, same settings. That's quite a bit of increase. But it would not stay running. Something in it would get hot, and it wasn't the GPU according to the temps. So my guess it was the VRAM or something wasn't staying cool enough. Once it reached a certain temperature, which would happen after a couple minutes of any load, it would just try to reboot the computer. It would black screen, then try to reboot. Wasn't just a matter of it black screen, so they had me try several different things, drivers, this, that, settings. Nothing seemed to make any difference regardless what I did. That was a real disappointment. And it's a disappointment because I got it for MSRP. I will not pay scalp prices. That card's going everywhere in the world for what? $1,100, $1,400 right now? That's ridiculous for a card that's valued at $580. So I won't be buying another one unless I happen to catch one for MSRP, and since that's not happening anywhere, you can pretty much figure I'm not going to buy another one for a long time. Just not paying scalp prices. If it's not scalper scalping, it's the damn manufacturers now. They're as bad as the scalpers. You know? And that's all of them. That's NVIDIA, that's AMD. It doesn't make any difference. These manufacturers are just charging way too much money for cards that don't have that value, but people want them so bad they're willing to pay it, and they're only hurting themselves in the long run. So now you can't buy one, and as you can pretty much tell, you can actually find stock anywhere now on all of them. Trouble is they're 2-3 times MSRP. Yeah, look how the land ain't. See, that's just like I say, they haven't got all the elevations in the game fixed. That island there should have been underwater because it was lower than the surrounding water of the river. See, this is probably waterfalls. A little bridge there. Let's see how the water is just not quite right. Let's see, where farther south we're going, the more the land's leveling out. They haven't got most of their bridges in the game just right. The bridges are there, but the traffic go underneath the bridges. I don't know what the deal is there. Like I say, they still have, it's a constant work in progress. But it sure is pretty, and it does, for me, it runs very good. In fact, here in VR, I probably get better frame rates in VR than I do on my monitor. Like I say, on the ultra-wide monitor, everything on ultra. Of course, I do have everything on ultra. I get about average of 45 frames per second, which is plenty fine for a flight sim. And I probably get closer to 50 here in VR, but the difference is I don't have things turned up as high either. Most of the settings are, even though the renders are pretty equal, the settings I mostly use medium and high settings, where everything is set to ultra on the, so I'm using a lot more oomph to run the monitor than I am VR. So that's why it actually runs better in VR than it does in on the monitor as far as frame rates. But as you can see, I do have filtering stuff up to 16 by 8 by 8 super sampling. So even though I have some of the settings down lower, it looks pretty good. And yes, if I go in and turn everything up, it looks better, but yeah, my frame rates drop less than 30, and that's just not acceptable to me. Now, I do run with ASW disabled. Some people say you have to run it. You don't have to run it. I do not run it. See, the water is up and down here. ASW limits tries to lock in a frame rate because you can't reach 80 or 90 or whatever it is. I think you're better off letting it go free. It's smoother. It looks better. But everybody's different what they like. I don't get air sickness or motion sickness like so many people do, so VR doesn't bother me. Some people can throw on a VR headset, puke in their lap. And I do like VR because you get the feel of the motion. And like I say, it's just a mind trick, that's all it is. And I'll be glad when they fix up these pop-ups. You notice that we're going along, you see stuff pop up. Well, that's because of Xbox stuff. Say they haven't planned to fix that for us PC users. So we don't get those pop-ups. We never got them before. I never had pop-up problems, but now I see them all the time since they put this patch out. And they claim that was not intentional to do that, but I guess what a lot of they did to get it to run on Xbox at 30 frames per second or whatever was they only render what's visible all the time, and then everything else not. Like right now behind us, I understand now that it's not rendered. But it used to be. Let's see here. Why can't I look behind me? I can only look left and right. Huh. Oh, I'm in the plane, that's why. But that's what they claim. And see how it's flashing there? That's pop-up. It's not in the view. And these elevations, like the water and stuff that we've noticed, see how it's rolling up on the banks, not level. Well, they've been doing elevation updates since the game released all the time. They've fixed a lot of it. Some of it was really bad in places. See how that is there? That's not right. And they'll eventually get to all of it. I mean, there's a whole world to do. So, I've heard people complain about it, but yeah, it's still pretty. Oh, that sun reflecting off that water is bright. Yep, we're in South Africa. We left Mackinac airstrip, the one that jumps off a cliff, and we just been following the water to the ocean. It used to be a little bitty stream, and now we got a full-fledged river. I'd call this a river, no longer a creek. I mean, it's not Mississippi River, but it's a pretty good sized river. It's probably bigger than a Kentucky River. And like I say, we are in South Africa. It's technically winter here, I do believe, I think. And I do have the Begin North Summer South Winter pack, but I don't know how much of a difference it makes in the winter. I guess I could do the same trip and uninstall it, would give me my answer. Maybe more of a change than I think it is. I don't know. It doesn't do normal vegetation, it just does trees. So some people have been complaining, well, the ground's not a different color, or we still have crops, you know, green crops. It doesn't do normal vegetation, it just does trees. However, if you want to know how well it works, install the spring north, fall south, and fly through Washington, D.C. and look at all the cherry trees. I mean, it is very, very pretty. So, there you have it. So I'm sure there's the difference between this and the standard feed by adding the seasons here, but I don't know how much of a difference it is. Although I have flown down in this area, some things you just don't really pay attention to. That's a tight turn. And I could have done as a crow would have done, just cut across. I could have been a crow. Nothing wrong with being a crow. Like I say, you can see the elevation in places has little glitches. Not quite the right height, down low, water on the bank. Such is life. Not enough to me to ruin the experience. Now, the only thing I do not like about running VR in an Oculus is you can't screenshot. I also like to make GIFs with my Radeon software. Make little GIFs. You can't do that with an Oculus because you'll get the dual rendered stereoscopic screen. Same with the screenshots. Now I understand that if it's a Windows mixed reality, headset, they have a feature that you can still take screenshots and not get the double view. Now I think that's true, so that's another reason I would kind of like to have a G2. Just can't bring myself to buy one yet, even though I really kind of want one. I'd rather have the graphics card first, but like I say, I've already bought one, had to send it back, so. And it may be a long time the way things are going for prices actually start coming down. You got availability now, but now people are just scalping them so bad, including places like Best Buy, still 2 or 3 times what MSRP is. I'm not paying that for a graphics card. I wouldn't pay that for NVIDIA back when they were selling the 1080s. Sure as hell not going to pay one nowadays. Just ain't worth that much to me. But you have to admit, this is pretty. Very pretty. I wonder if let me flip this out of VR real quick. Pause it, flip it out of VR. I wonder if some dummy turned on. No, he didn't. Talking about a dummy. What am I looking for here? Let's turn Discord on like it should be. I was screwing around with the Oakenvaca Delta platform, trying to get it to load, and I couldn't do it. Just the way life goes. There we go. Whoops, put back in VR before I crash. Holy shit, let's recenter the headset. Whoa! Change view. Change view. Alright, let's see. Forget what recentering the view is on this particular. Way too close here. Let's get a reset. There we go. Just flying along. And a little pig special. I've got the flight simulator livery on it. Change view. As you can see. Now, I don't know about the rest of you, but when I fly, I get better frame rates in the cockpit than I do in third person. Not by a whole lot, 3, 4, maybe 5 FPS average difference from when I'm in and it's probably got it because I have more rendering, more viewing, more shit to see. It's actually a bigger load on the GPU. I don't know how close we were getting to the ocean. Finally got another player over there. He's up there pretty high, 8,000 feet, so he's not doing what I'm doing. Just like he's in a 172, so he's pretty high up there for a 172. I really enjoy the floats and the skis they put in it, landing on snow and landing in the water. I have more fun with the 172 with floats than I do with the a little Icon change view. I mean, a pretty laid back sim. I mean, it can get hairy when you get into, depending on what you're doing. Some of the landings are terrifying. Especially some of the landing challenges. They put you in planes specifically to make it more difficult. Like the Cessna Caravan. That thing is a duck. It's very susceptible to wind and stuff. So they put you in landing strips, very windy, crosswinds and stuff. And that plane will, I mean, it floats really bad. So it makes what would be in some planes a very, not a very difficult landing. That makes it real hard. What you fly makes a lot of difference when you're landing in some areas. And takeoff too, for that matter. Some runways are fairly short. Some planes take more. You have to watch your weight. Like I say, this plane is so nimble that running canyons is real easy with it. But some planes are not as nimble, and it makes it more difficult. It's easier just to get out of the canyon and fly across it a little higher instead of getting real down on the deck. As you can see, our elevation map just isn't quite perfect. Looks like it's going to start going uphill now because it's not quite right. Yeah, see, we're definitely flowing uphill here. So they don't have it perfect in areas. Some areas it's really good, some it's not. Oh, don't hit the cliff. Should start getting a little wider here. me. Seem to have very many villages and stuff down here. Well, spoke too soon, maybe. But still, no, did not spoke too soon. It's not a village. Just where the light's coming off them trees, kind of look like buildings. I wonder what kind of trees they are down there. They're not very tall, but they're spread out quite a bit. Maybe they're Joshua trees. Could be Joshua trees. Do Joshua trees grow in Africa? I don't know. I'd need a tree expert. Uh-oh. Gee, I only got one tank. We're in trouble. We are in trouble because we are out of gas. Get some flaps down here. Are the flaps going down? Change view. Shit. Oh shit, tree. Oh. We are out of gas. Why'd you guys let me run out of gas? Send in the air tanker. Because we are out of fuel, people. Yeah, we only have about a 300-mile range in this plane. So we are definitely out of gas. Change view. Change view. So we are not going anywhere. We blew it. I'd forgotten all about that. But we are out of fuel. We were lucky we happened to get as far as we got in an area where I could actually put it on the ground and not kill myself. So, but that's the way it is. We are down. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the flight. We cannot go nowhere no more. We are done. We are out of fuel. Hard as that is to believe, we are out of fuel. I blame it on the people who put a small gas tank in this plane. But yeah, it's only got a range of about 300 miles, and we covered that pretty easily, I would say. Well, no, it actually says it has fuel in it. Has it got another tank in it somewhere that I don't know about? Hang on here. We might not be done. Let me check this out. Change view. Let me see here. If we got a tank switch. Ooh. Can I read it? Can't hardly read it. Main fuel, auxiliary fuel. Well, technically, this ought to be a go. Let's see here. Start up. Start up.
There you go.
Ha! I didn't realize it had an auxiliary tank. Guess what, people? We're going to put it back in the air. We are going to continue. Whoop, stopped. Why did it do that? Is it going to stay there? Start up.
There you go.
Huh. Maybe not. There goes. Get it on the right. All right. Looks like we got it going here, huh? Doesn't have much in it. And that's all we got. Main fuel, auxiliary fuel. We're not going to go much farther. Not going to go much farther. But we'll go a little farther. Change view. Flaps are not working. Don't know if they need to work. Well, we're still in the air, but we're not going to fly much farther. I really didn't realize it had an auxiliary tank, but we're pretty much. Change view. We're probably not going to make it to the ocean. There we have it. However, I guess if I'd have flown it more often, I'd have known it had an auxiliary tank, huh? Don't know what the range is between the two tanks. I'll have to look it up. So in the future, I know, but I know the range is under 300 miles. Now I don't know how far under 300 miles it is, but we were probably a lot farther than that from the coast. What can I say? I learn something new every day. And our elevation, we're still 2,400 as far as our altitude from sea level. Oh, now tell me that doesn't look real. Except for the water trying to run up the side of slopes. Whee! Whoop, 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 whoop. Don't get too close. I guess technically this would be a rapid area, wouldn't it? Because we're dropping elevation, and they just haven't got rapids down in the rivers yet. Yeah, the way we're dropping elevation here, it looks like I would say these would be rapids, or rapid type of area or whatever. I think it would be whitewater. I think. That's what I think. It would be whitewater. Not that I know, of course. Even the shadows pop in, as you notice. Yep, they're supposed to fix all that for us PC users. Yeah, my guess this would be rapids. Did I know? Now, see, we run out of gas again. Unless we get another flat plane, we're going to be dead. There ain't no place here to put this plane down. Not close. Quick. Just got lucky the first time. Just got lucky. But it is going to run out of gas again. But that's okay. And I could just use the cheats and fill it up again here in the air, do mid-air refueling. But it's not like you can't do that. Well, you can turn in unlimited gas on if you want to, where you don't even have to fill it up. That's something else you can do. Yep, see, especially when you're looking down or over to the side, it really feels like you're moving. VR just screws with your head. Definitely get that feeling of speed. I need to put my aviators on. I have no idea what that's out there for. They wing walk or something on this damn plane, or do they crop dust maybe? I don't know what that's for. I'm sure it has a purpose. Just don't know what it is. Change view. The land is a little flatter now, it looks like. Well, the water is not as Look at all that fish jumping down there. Lots of fish. Actually, I just think it's shadows from the water waves. But I'm calling it fish. It's fish. Got fish jumping. What happened to all the water? Yep. Lots of fish. Take it you guys can see that. Something over there, point of interest, but I don't know what it is. It's farther away than I think it is. Yeah, I wonder what kind of trees these are for the most part. Change view. Zoom, zoom. It's going to get dark on us. And we are flying live time, so. It really is starting to get dark on us. Whoa. Waterfall. That's what I'm saying. It was a waterfall. I don't know what river this is, but it sure snakes. 'Cause I'm sure it's a named river by now. Should pop out. So I'd be glad to get that fixed. Hit the water, we're dead. Got a little close there by playing around. Now we're down to the plains of the Serengeti. Now I don't know if that's true. I don't even know where the Serengeti's at. But I doubt if this little flats we're coming up on has anything to do with Serengeti. But hey, it sounded good. It's all that matters. Truth be damned. But the sun is setting on the Flight Simulator Empire. Well, I could check below for a nearest airport, but I really don't care. It's not important if I get another landing in. And there probably is somewhere around me a little bitty grass strip somewhere that they claim is an airport. I don't see a building, house or whatever every now and then now. Wasn't on seeing none of those before. Now that we're getting out on a plane somewhere. Back there is a, looks like a call sign. I guess we're flying into the sunset. I guess technically it might be that way. We might not. Flying away from the sunset, maybe. Yep, we're going the wrong way. We going the wrong way. We ain't flying to the sunset. We. What the hell we got over here? Those look like lights. What the hell we got, guys? Huh. Light reflecting off of it. Small town. Definitely a small town. Probably an airport here somewhere. We got a bridge. We have civilization. Street lights. Not sure where the hell we're at, but we're here. On the banks or whatever they call it. Okay, we're gonna put it downhill maybe. Whoa, too hard. Duh. Okay, didn't do that very well. Didn't do that very well at all. Put it down. I put it down all right. Okay, we're gonna call it quits here. We need to go get something to drink. I'm dying for another cup of coffee. We'll talk to everybody